record on this. Hey, Heather. I,
Hi.
again, I just really wanted to thank you for taking this time to kind of speak about, you know, your injury and kind of what brought us together and some of the benefits you got out of our work. And yeah, thank you again. I'll let you I'll let you
Okay.
go, as it were.
Okay. Okay, great. Um, so I used to see you, as you know, I used to see you in person before you moved to BC, and we had a lot of success together with our treatments. And when well, in December of 2021, I had an accident where I was rear-ended in my car, and I 10 days later was unable to walk. So what I thought was just a back spasm turned out to be something a little more complicated. And uh, my insurance company sent me to a physiotherapist for twice weekly physio with acupuncture. And what I found was that the acupuncture was somewhat helpful. The physio was very I guess gentle at that time because I was acute. There wasn't really a lot that the physiotherapist could do for me hands-on wise, other than a little bit of joint mobilization, but very, very gentle work. And I found the acupuncture helped bring down some muscle spasm, but it was always very temporary. After a couple months of that, I noticed that I was declining in my ability to walk, and what started off as just like a limp turned into needing a cane, turned into really not even being able to walk around the block. So I think that's probably when I reached out to you because I was feeling extremely frustrated with the treatment that I was getting. And um, I, I mean, anyone would be if you were getting twice weekly treatments and your condition was declining. So that's when I reached out to you, and thank goodness that I did because uh, our work together via Zoom, which I really was so surprised that you could do so much for me, not even putting your hands on me, which I miss very, very much, by the way. I miss your hands-on treatment, but I was blown away by how quickly I started to get better after seeing you. And I can say, and I've said this many times, like with you, anytime something's wrong with me, within 2 or 3 treatments, um, drastic improvements. And I can say without a doubt on the after the third treatment, I started to walk better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll speak to that, just on my side of things,
Hmm.
when we're getting into, yeah, the kind of condition that Heather here had shown up in, based on her MRI imaging and post her car accident. Uh, well, I think it was all, what, 8 thoracic, 5
Yeah.
lumbars,
Yeah.
were in some degree of herniation and all total inflammation. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like the online treatments, yeah, that's what was really kind of a blowaway to myself within the context of what the exercises were offering.
Yeah.
Just to see, yeah, like the the direct improvements not only in your mobility but the
Mm.
reduction of pain and just, yeah, you getting back your quality of life, like, and I hate to put it against sort of other modalities or other practitioners or anything, but what I think, from a clinician side, that's very strong about what the online exercises, these Aldoa exercises,
Mm-hmm.
really target is what's at the root of something like a multi-disc herniation, which is just constant compression,
Mm-hmm.
neurological interference, and just how those stretches just help to get back good blood flow. Yeah, I guess
Right.
maybe.
But
Sorry,
sorry.
continue. Yeah,
I was just
continue.
going to say, one interesting thing is that you didn't even know at that point that I had disc herniation. So we hadn't gotten the MRI or gotten the results, and the physiotherapist is looking at me and seeing a hip that's not functioning well and going right to the hip. And uh, that was it. Like, let's acupuncture the glutes and traction the hip, which turned out to be a really bad idea. And I ended up in the emergency room in agony. So no, you're right. Nothing against physiotherapists, but you have, it's not just the Aldoa exercises. Anybody can teach Aldoa exercises. You looked at my body and read it, right? And so this is what is so remarkable about you in particular, is that you can read the chains, the fascial lines in the musculature, and you can see what's going on by the tone of my muscles and by the way that I'm holding my body. Like, I can look in the mirror and not notice anything, but you'll notice a slight list in one direction or a pulling somewhere that nobody else would notice. And you just have a natural talent for that. I got it, like, mind blowing.
I appreciate that. I
I'm just
really
like
do.
praising Sean. Yeah, all praise Sean. Yeah.
I really do. Well, and
So
I
you
think that,
didn't need to know the MRI results to get results with me. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
to your point, that like, again, not trying to big myself up, but just speaking to the accuracy of things,
Yeah.
like that's what's been really interesting about just, yeah, online, like the online, treatment, in-person treatment is, in the end, it really just revolves back to your clinical reasoning and what
Hmm.
you can define through assessment, whether that's done in person physically or all the types of assessments that, we would go through at the start of our sessions to kind of help segment and underscore, or to understand sort of what was influencing in the most problematic way for Heather, that we could start to correct and then see those accumulated benefits then start to move through the body. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
thank
Yeah,
you.
and you also had really good advice for me nutritionally, and um, like, I guess probably from looking at the color of my tissues, the whites of my eyes, the way my skin looked, you could pick up on what I needed. And you knew without me telling you that I wasn't getting enough protein and I wasn't drinking enough water. And I really appreciated, your recommendations to bring that into my life. So I'm someone who wouldn't normally eat breakfast, and um, on your advice, I started eating protein-rich breakfast and
Yeah.
putting more effort into my water intake. And I think that was a huge part of my healing as well. Not only that, but if I'm just listing all the great things about you. You
Appreciate it.
let's face it, like, it's really important that you have a practitioner that you feel that listens to you and cares about you. And you made me feel listened to, and you cared about me. And there wasn't ever a question of whether I could trust you. And I felt like you really felt me in your heart. Like, I felt like you were here with me and you were holding my hand through this, and you believed in me, right? And that
Yeah.
gonna make
Yeah.
me cry, but it does make all the difference in the world in how you do and how you respond to your treatments, and if you can heal or not. And I really do believe that.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
was the thing that from my side was very frustrating hearing coming from you, was what was kind of being communicated by your ecosystem of rheumatologists, neurologists, doctors, the
Mhm.
assortment of other care practitioners that were all kind of like bleak on their outlook of your potential, of where you
Yeah.
could, like, it
Yeah.
just sounded like there was a whole cheering
Yeah.
squad being like, hey,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
You're where
We
you're at
can't do
for the rest
anything
of your
for
life.
you. Yeah.
And here's this person that I know as vibrant. And
Hmm.
even when I've seen you, in manual treatment sessions, like I know what's there in the essence of who
Hmm.
you are and where all, and like how much strength is there. So
Mhm.
to kind of be like in my mindset, it's always like when I'm kind of hearing that and then seeing how that's playing
Yeah.
on your headspace, like no, and it was also just yeah, I'm not ignorant of things. Like I'm never overly confident or trying to sell somebody on what the
Yeah.
outcome is going to be. It's just
Yeah.
I could just see like no, like this person, like all the people I tend to
Yeah.
work with, it's like we're going to find a route, and they are
Yeah.
going to find their wellness again, and it
Yeah.
just speaks to that the totality of it. It's like not only the nutritional component, the subtle things, but just I
Mhm.
think of it quite often like the placebo effect, like having like that belief within each other, like that
Mhm.
we're going to create a really good outcome for this person. There's all sorts of research that really does contribute
Yeah.
to recovery.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the right other stuff that we're doing helps too. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, giving a shit means a big thing.
It does. It means a lot, and maybe, time would have healed anyways, but I needed you and you were there for me, and I looked forward to our sessions, and at times when I was just a mess and everyone was telling me I can't do anything for you. You had never said that. And when I was in tears and thinking like, what the fuck, right? You put me through breathing exercises and helped me calm my nervous system and bring me to a place where I could pull off a smile when
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you laugh.
and yeah, yeah, and laugh. I mean, again,
Yeah.
and I think when we're in
Hmm.
the depths of those kind of really serious pain experiences, and just how that changes so much of our ecosystem, because like you're vibrant and busy within your business, you're an amazing, like high standard, sought after RMT. You have a whole ecosystem that you have to live for. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it was just it's really just great seeing just that you're like really you're
Yeah.
good doing
Yeah.
you're living
Yeah.
your life again.
So as you expected, you said to me, you did say to me by September, I think we're going to be really like back to feeling like yourself. And sure enough, like it's true. Even
Yeah. And that's
yeah.
what expertise is being able
Yeah.
to estimate what the
Yeah.
outcome will be. I think.
Yeah. And it
And
was
yeah,
hard for me to believe when you
yeah,
told me that.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
um, we so from that period, April, May, June, July. So we probably worked together a cumulative of what, like maybe 7 to 9 hours over that period of those 5.5 to 6 months.
Were we doing every week for a while there? And or maybe yeah, we
Yeah,
did
I might be off. I mean, it might have
every
been 10 to
week.
12 hours or
But
something.
then there were a couple months where I had really improved, and
Yeah,
we decreased our sessions, and then it became by September, I'd say it was sort of as needed basis,
yeah,
and so because I had improved so much, we were really dropping
yeah,
the amount of times we saw each other, and then if I had got a flare up,
yeah.
if like that time I moved loading laundry the wrong way, then you got me right back on track. We had a session within the next day. I was back on track. So I call you now, I just call you when things get bungled up again. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully. Hmm.
Yeah, thankfully I haven't heard from you in a while, so I'm
Although I
happy
miss
about
you.
that.
I do miss you.
I miss all you too. But like I always say, it's like it's
Hmm.
better if I'm not around, but if we're meeting,
Yeah.
it's probably because you're really fucked up, and it's probably really good that we're meeting,
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
unfortunate,
Yeah.
fortunate thing about
Yeah. For
yeah.
sure. Hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know what else to touch on like that.
Yeah.
I just yeah, that
Yeah.
really thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. You've been a miracle worker in my mind, so I'll
Yeah.
endorse you any day of the week.
I really appreciate that,
But I'm terrible at timelines.
No, that's all right.
Timelines. I never got around to that.
That's all right. This is a much better way to do it than rather
Yeah,
just
I
having
think it
somebody
is.
film something in isolation. I
Yeah,
like
you could
talking.
take little clips of what I said and put it in isolation.
Yeah,
right?
I guess
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah,
but I don't know.
yeah,
It's just real. I like hearing people's
yeah.
stories, and I think
Hmm.
something that I haven't been good at, just because I let other like once somebody gets back to their life, they're just back to the like that's what I want. Like
Yeah.
I never found a need to sort of be outwardly kind of
Hmm.
explaining it to the world, but I am starting to see just like that. That's it's like a really beneficial thing to hear
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
there's a lot of people who do find themselves in a serious injured situation. They've gone through an assortment of modalities, all of them sort of saying, well, where you're at is where you're going to be at. And then
Hmm.
they end up in a position in life where they're not able to work to the same degree anymore. Social
Hmm.
activities have all crumbled. And they're in their 40s or early 50s, and they're sort of sitting there thinking, "There's nothing else I can do in my life."
Hmm.
And I guess one of the things I kind of want to get across from not only just my work that I do with people in person, but also this other medium through the
Yeah.
online, is that there's tools. Yeah,
Yeah, and people don't necessarily know or understand how much can be accomplished through a Zoom session. And that's
yeah,
why, we
yeah,
need to get the word out
yeah,
that you can do great things through Zoom.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's just great to hear and
Yeah.
see that you're living you're
Yeah.
back to you're back to the strong person and like
Yeah.
person engaged that
Mm.
I know, so
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's the
Thank
most
you.
yeah. I don't
Good.
know. Yeah.
Good.
Is
Okay.
there anything else? But other than that, I
Yeah.
really
I think,
appreciate that.
yeah. Yeah. I think I said it all, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna just
So
yeah.
we'll touch base next time I need you,
If you
or
need anything, yeah. But
if you're in town, I'll come for a session regardless.
yeah, well, late December, like December 15th, I'm coming back into Ontario,
Are
Toronto
you?
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gonna have a
Family.
visit with the family. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Well, feel free to reach out. We can say hi if you want.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put this on. I'm gonna stop the recording and then we'll just
Yeah.
talk and just say goodbye there. But
Oh, okay. Okay.
that's that.